to a late night edition to the We-On-Loc Nation channel. What we're going to do is we're going to go over some things, mainly go over the rest of the idiotic things that this administration has done over the past year and a half. I hope everybody had a happy Memorial Day. Um, just being with family is good enough for me. But after that, everybody goes home and it's back to reality. And this administration, it's just idiotic. It's all over the place at this moment. But we're gonna just go review some things from the what's going on in the Trump administration at this very moment, what's going on with Iran, which is preferably the same thing. They're basically asking for an actual ceasefire of 60 days. But apparently, the United States doesn't want 60 days because apparently obviously, everything goes on with the United States. I mean, they're not clean in any of the situation at all. Their hands are always dirty. So, like I said, we're just going to go through a couple things, and I'll do my commentary a little bit later on. First, I want to go through the list once again. I'll just pull it up and let you see it for yourself. Let's see. Here we go. And we were at 100, I believe we were. See, all this list of egregious things that Trump has done the year and a half of his administration. The list, 300 acts of harm since January 2025. And we read all the way down to 100. Let's start with 101. Executive order bury asylum for anyone crossing the borders between official ports. 102, close immigration courts in rural areas, forcing long travels for hearings. 103, ending federal grants for public defenders for immigration cases. This dude is prejudiced. 104, cutting refugee medical screening programs. 105, eliminating aid from U.S. citizen sponsoring family abroad. 106, reducing humanitarian aid to Central America. Executive order allowing Border Patrol to seize vehicles without warrants. 108, provide sales of armed vehicles to locate police for immigration enforcement. 109, cut funding to English language classes for God, this dude is prejudiced as hell. Yeah, these people are prejudiced. 1010, ending DOJ oversight of ICE detention faculties. 111, defunding U.S. compilations of United Nations High Commissioner Commissioners for Refugees. Uh, 112, where we at? 112, reducing legal orientation programs. Reducing legal orientation programs in detention centers. 113, slash children welfare services for unaccomplished minors. 114, close legal services chaos for immigrant courts. 115, end protections for immigrant victims of crime under U visa programs. That sounds like a lot. 116, moving language access requirements in federal health programs. Cut grants for citizenship preparation programs. So how are they supposed to get into the country? I just don't understand it. This will probably never happen under another president. But anyway, executive order. That's what EO stands for. Executive order permitted ICE to detain children beyond 20-day limit. 19, reduce medical staff in detention centers. And then I'm just going to stop here. 120, stop DOJ monitoring of deportation proceedings. So this is a lot, but you can look at it yourself. I'm just stating the fact that this dude is, quite frankly, a very, very prejudiced person. As a matter of fact, I would say people on that particular side who's all the way right is very, very prejudiced, because that's all this is to me. You can sugarcoat it you can sugarcoat it and slice it however you want. But the fact of the matter is, when immigrants come into this country, they make money. And then America makes money. So what's the problem? What is the problem? And I'll show you how ignorant this shit can be. I'm just going to play a little clip from one of the people that I listen to. I don't know how I stayed on this. I don't know how I stayed on this person. But if it wasn't for the person that obviously I listen to on a daily basis, I would have never learned about Isaiah Martin, to be perfectly honest with you. I would have never learned about Isaiah Martin. I would have never learned about Parker or anybody of that matter who loves to do these types of debates. I told you, I don't know if I told you this before. I can never do a debate. You know why? I don't have it in me to read something that's in front of me that is factual, that a person dares not listen to because his or her ego is so big that he or she is willing to get you off of your square. And it gets me out of my square. I'm too hot-headed. I'm willing to do bodily harm. I would rather do bodily harm to you. That's just how my mind works. But I'm learning as I go along. If you're going to be in politics, if you're going to be on the debate team, if you're going to be a commissioner, if you're going to be a city councilman, a mayor, a legislator, whoever, you got to learn how to keep a hot head. I'm learning as I go along. This may take some time, but I'm working on it. I'm really working on that shit. Honestly, I'm working on it. Like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. Well, let's go to the next. Let me see. All right. Hopefully, I don't get whatever. I just wanted you to listen to this part.
What Tyler's motives were for killing Charlie Kirk, but ultimately, let's face the facts. Tyler was some random idiot. Leaders and those in charge of the governments, and the most violent among them are on the right. Welcome in, right-wing woke. Do you support Trump?
Absolutely. Just for the record, Tyler was a case of stochastic terrorism, just like the gentleman in Washington, D.C. who went all the way from California to try and unalive anybody he can. This whole notion that the left is pure it's just wrong. You guys are...
Nobody's saying the left is pure and innocent. When you have massive groups of people, like 140 million Democrats, 130 million Republicans, you are going to have a lot of people on the left and on the right who are violent idiots, 110% idiots on the left. But rather, my argument is the leaders of the American right are the violent idiots. You cannot point towards one comparable example of a Democrat in any position of power in government that has called for the execution of 6 Republicans in government, the same way Donald Trump called for the execution of 6 Democrats in government. Prove me wrong by naming one Democrat in government that has.
If your criteria is Democrats in government, you're forgetting the entire diaspora of what you want to call Antifa. You want to disregard the people who worship Mangione. You want to disregard the people who are taking violence in their own hands. You want to disregard the person who set the Palisades fire. You want to disregard the person who set the fire at the Ottawa. You want to disregard the people who set the fires to the Waymoos. The fact is, the left wing is not even a platform anymore as much as it is a platform for stochastic terrorism that you will plausibly deny and collect.
And for every leftist that you want to call out for praising Mangione, not because they support murder, but rather because they support access to health care, and they're a little bit...
Nobody wants to take responsibility that's on the right. I don't know if I'm close. I don't know if this, what I just said was fair, but the left has always been called out and nothing has been necessarily called out to the right. Why do we have to stay one-sided? It's very unsanitary. It's very unsanitary for at least to say both sides fucked up. Both sides are responsible for dirty shit, but we never potentially blame the leaders for doing fucked up shit. It's always left, whether it be Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, Joe Biden. It's always in alignment to the left. No one wants to take responsibility for the right.
Lad, okay, you disregard the 5 neo-Nazis who praised Hitler in the name of the superiority of the white race. Okay, for everybody on the left that you could identify that like went down to DC to try to kill Donald Trump, one guy, okay, a teacher from California, you disregard the alt-right MAGA Nazis who killed 3 Muslims in San Diego and California. For everybody on the left that you want to identify, like Tyler Robinson who killed Charlie Kirk, you disregard the 12 white supremacists who tried to kill Obama while he was in office. Listen, like I said, we see violent people on the left. We see violent people on the right. We see violent people in society, 110%. And you make presidents out of it. I'd rather be on the side that has a couple people who are going to be making TikTok dances to the sound of Charlie Kirk's death, compared to the side that'll make a rapist criminal in the Epstein files over a million times president, just so he could have that platform and call for the execution of Democrats, call us all terrorists, celebrate the deaths of those on the left, weaponize the DOJ to attack his political opponents, and inspire J6, which caused 176 of his followers to try to kill cops on the.
Trump should have never been in office. Trump should have never been in this position to become president yet again. But yet I would put blame not only on people from the right, but some of these black conservatives need to be put on notice. And that's just how I feel about it.
Steps of his capital that he then gave full and complete presidential pardons, called them patriots, and has now created a $1.8 billion slush fund to line their pockets with hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah, we get
with
it.
A fucking bow on it. Trump. Yeah, I wrapped it up with a bow on it, with a goddamn bow on it, my friend.
Yeah. Cool. You're editorializing about your rambling. Anyway, look.
You just went past that. He's gonna go past that for the simple fact that $1.8 billion is not going to go back into the hands of the American people, but it's going to go into the hands of a bunch of Klansmen. You're just going to scave past that. Not to mention, on top of that, you're already spending trillions of dollars on this fake war in Iran. You didn't even announce that, or you didn't bother to announce it because basically Dean was cooking you.
Here's a simple fact. The political left doesn't have a policy anymore. They have used how could I put this? They have used performative compassion to say that, oh, we care about this and that. So now the people think that because that we're trying to pay our bills on time, that the Nazis are coming to go get them. They are more verbally violent than the political right. And that stupid survey was what was it? Some of it was done in a prison, and it didn't even document the Black Lives Matter riot for at least 6 years running, unaliving people, planning assassinations of the presidency, and guys like you are over here playing defense for them. You say, well, Antifa means anti-fascist. No, it doesn't. Antifa is a platform for stochastic terrorism, and you're over here doing the second half of saying that they're
this dude is very emotional.
Not doing anything wrong. Hey, I'm part of Antifa. Where do we meet? You meet on the internet. We have never unalived. Yes, you have. We have never done anything terrorist. Yes, you have. The thing is, left-wing violence is being mollycoddled and put on a moral pedestal as a virtue. You make dance steps out of murdering people. You guys are just like jihadists. You are like socialist jihadists instead of the...
Not even announcing the right.
Unless the...
Sounds very biased.
Aside from the Islamic jihadists, wait. Hold it. Let me cook. Instead of the Mohammedan jihadists that believe that the more suffering you put on someone's flesh brings you closer to God, you guys believe you guys believe that the more suffering you put on other people's flesh and the more infrastructure you tear down will bring you closer to the classless, stateless, moneyless society. You guys are the exact same soldiers fighting the exact same war against the American people.
Yeah, you know what proves you wrong in less than 2 sentences? If the left truly were these socialist jihadists who want violence and death, then maybe we would have been the party that made the fucking violent, death-bringing rapist president. But we weren't. Okay, there's no way to parse through the fact that for every allegation there is that the left is politically violent, that we're the ones who want to destroy the country, we're the ones that want to raid the Capitol, overthrow the government, and send all men to jail. Okay, we have the politicians who say, let's try to bring down the temperature, let's try to bring the American people together, and let's focus on the real issues like why single mothers of 5 can't make ends meet and why the average American can't pay rent. Meanwhile, what the fuck is the right doing? Let me tell you something else. You made an analogy there. You said that the left is launching this metaphorical war from within to go after Americans. Meanwhile, the right is watching a real war in Iran that killed 160 girls to deflect our attention away from the Epstein files that our president is in over a million times. And Donald Trump explicitly said we need a war from within, okay, tyrannically abusing the Constitution, violating the 10th Amendment, deploying the National Guards in our streets to attack our citizens. Plus, the only political platform and ideology that exists in America today that widely and unilaterally and uncontroversially applauds murder is the right. Why do I say this? Because of what happened to Alex Preddy. Alex Preddy got shot in the back 12 times, and he was executed in broad daylight by ICE agents. Every single Republican in Congress.
But no, he was breaking the law. He was breaking the law because he had an armed, let's just say not a 45, but a 9 caliber Glock with 2 clips or an extra clip on his side. But he was doing something with his camera phone and got pepper sprayed not once but twice. But he was breaking the law.
Congress will tell you, well, we don't care. Why? Why would they say we don't care? Because Donald Trump, their Lord and Savior, the man that you made president, doesn't care. Him and his administration have stood by the murders of your American brothers and sisters. We had Kristi Noem from the DHS saying the murderer of Alex Preddy violated no rules or laws, and he's still on the job to this day. Jonathan Ross, the individual who killed Renee Good, is still on the job but deployed somewhere else in the country. What underpins, okay, this visceral attack and assault on the left that we're hearing from you today is the implicit acceptance of a president who is okay with murder, the implicit acceptance of a president who's okay with calling for the execution of their political opponents, the implicit acceptance of a president or a needle that has launched an assault on the American people with violence, like restricting women and girls' access to abortion, which has led to 60 pregnant women per day that were raped and impregnated because of it, being denied access to abortion, or 10 million low-income Americans losing access to health insurance when we already have 51,000 that die every single year via lack of access to health care. The right is the most violent side of American politics, but nowhere in any word that has left my mouth that nobody on the left is violent at all.
So we're basically arguing that both sides are wrong. Both sides have done some very uncoordinated, unprecedented shit in the past, decades? But we're constantly calling out the left. But can we agree that this president, he's no president to me. Let's get this free and clear. Donald Trump is no damn president to me or anybody that I know in my family will ever call him that. But beside the point, the fact of the matter is he has done exceedingly more dirt and is known for doing some wicked shit. Let's just be plain. Let's be 1,000% plain. He has done some wicked shit. He has said some wicked shit. Some terrible shit. That's why everybody knows him. And what about the assassinations attempt? If they wanted him gone, he would have been gone. Let's just keep that 1,000%. There were supposedly, allegedly, 4 attempts on his life. The one from yesterday or the day before, the one from the dinner, the other one from when he was playing golf, and then the other one when he was announcing that he was being president again. That first time, that almost went. He was almost gone. A little bit to the right. And that would have ended right then and there. Was all this staged? Possibly, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. All I do know is if they wanted you gone, you'd be gone. If you don't believe me, ask Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, that was a long diatribe, and as much as I'd like to go into this Iran kerfuffle, but I'm just going to shelf that. Honestly, Donald Trump is not the enemy of these United States. Donald Trump is the political will of the United States. He is our id, he's our ego. He has more intelligent people underneath him who are protecting this country.
He's intelligent, but he's not intelligent.
From a $39 trillion budget shortfall that has got people thinking that they're entitled to run fake daycares, run fake institutions, beg for money. Wait, hold it.
No president in history has added more to the debt than him. He's personally responsible for 28% of it.
Look, bro, wait a minute. Look, the thing is, whether you like Donald Trump or not, there are some things he is doing makes absolute sense. And by the way, I hate to break it to you, the Epstein files is just Russiagate 2.0, my guy. Y'all have no evidence and no one's going to jail for
I think, yeah, we it's confirmed. It's definitely confirmed. We definitely live in a society where we just don't care. I cannot find the right political words to say other than the fourth grade word. The fourth grade lettering. We do not care. But if it were your family, I can say this. If it were your family that was dealing with the tragedies, the wickedness of what Epstein was doing, and you have to admit this. These are the faults of the parents who have given him this type of platform, this type of evil platform to do the things that he has been doing in the past decades. Even though he is dead now, we don't know. Do we really know that Epstein is dead? And is he the only one that's involved? No, he's not the only one that's involved. Donald Trump's name Donald Trump's name alone has been mentioned in these Epstein files more than one occasion. But we're not gonna sweep this under the rug. No, that's not gonna go. No. Because if it were my child being kidnapped, if it were Black children being kidnapped, we would go through hell and high water to collect our kids, to find our kids. Oh, this whole fucking world would burn if that were to happen to our children. But apparently some of you are not convinced because you are all the way Trump lovers. So let's continue.
Because Epstein himself fabricated evidence against people on that thing. So y'all work it out in therapy. Right now, it's internet gossip and innuendo, and you could have it if that's all you have.
Yes, because rational people think that Epstein acted alone, for sure. Epstein fabricated evidence on his own account. He fraudulently sent emails to himself about Bill Gates. He has completely polluted the evidence pool, and you don't care because calling Donald Trump's names is the only person who doesn't care about child rape, predation, and sexual abuse are Trump supporters because you made a sexual abuser. One moment. Prove that there was sexual abuse of a woman or a child. Yeah, he was held civilly liable for raping E. Jean Carroll. He admitted to barging into the dressing rooms of naked women and girls looking at their naked bodies. he has 40 plus credible accusations. There's a credible accusation from Jane Doe number 4 in the Epstein files, who we know to be a victim of Epstein's because she won millions of dollars in a settlement from the Epstein estate. Yes, Donald Trump is a sexual predator. We go over this on the live stream.
Hold it.
Rewind.
They don't care about
Rewind.
that.
Jane Doe number 4 sued Epstein. There was 2 women who said that they had stories against Donald Trump and Epstein. One of them sued Epstein. The other one sued Donald Trump. The one that said that vicious, that horrible story, she keeps changing her story. And the last time she went to court, it was thrown out in 2 months. And her only lawyer was a producer from the Jerry Springer show.
Are you talking about?
No one got money.
I just want to clarify. Are you talking about Jane number 4, who won millions of dollars in a settlement from the Epstein estate and also credibly
from the
accused
Epstein
Trump?
estate? She didn't get anything from Donald Trump. So
is that who you're talking about?
She won in court a settlement, and I believe it was $61,000 or $600,000 or something like that, which still has not been paid. Hello, Tanya. I hope you had a wonderful Memorial Day. We're just going over some hypocrisy of Trump supporters.
Is this the liar?
I'm going to.
But the reason why she matters, the reason why this matters, is because we know that she was trafficked by Epstein. Okay, that was a part of the settlement in court. She said that she was taken advantage of by Epstein and rich and powerful friends, and she wins millions of dollars in a settlement from the Epstein estate. So we know that she's a legitimate victim of it, and that she's also out here accusing Trump, not even like publicly or anything. Okay, this was in private, in confidence, through 3 sit-down 302 interviews with the FBI in 2019. Like, of course, this is going to matter.
Bro. Okay, I'm going to say my point again. It was 2 women being represented by a high-priced lawyer. The high-priced lawyer took one of them. She got her money from Epstein. The other one got nothing because her story was so fanciful that it fell apart in court. Now, unless you want to tell me that
she still won, doofus. She still won the civil case. She still won that shit. The only thing about it is she didn't get paid yet. Donald Trump ain't gonna pay her unless he's dead or something. He's not gonna pay her. But I bet you'll probably pay. I bet you she'll get paid out of the tariffs. I hope that works.
Donald Trump paid client number 9. He's been clear. Client number 4. I'm sorry. Client number 9 was Elliot Spitzer. It's not that complicated to prove someone's guilty. When New York, we had a governor who was choking women. We knew his name. We knew his madam. His madam's on TikTok, by the way. We knew how much money, and we made.
Let's just be simple. Are you saying that Jane Doe number 4, who accused Trump, is not the same woman who won millions of dollars in a settlement from the Epstein estate?
Prove that. What do I have to prove it? Like the one that
I would like to see your evidence. Because independent investigation on top of reporting for testification.
Holding nuts, but these people are pieces of shit, man. People are pieces of shit. But if it was his kid, it probably you want to get the whole Air Force and Navy and Army and Marines involved. But it was somebody else who represented the left. Oh, we need evidence. Where's your evidence?
From one of Epstein's lawyers in front of Congress.
See, this is the part. This is the part where I say I have 1.5% of tolerance. This is what I'm talking about. 5%. Maybe it's because of I don't know. Maybe it's because of the sugar. I mean, I ate good today. I ate great. Or maybe it's because of the sugar. I don't know. My guy. But these people are so. I can't even put it into words. But it's annoying.
All reaffirm that Jane Doe number 4, who won millions of dollars in a settlement from the Epstein estate was the same woman who
want you
accused
to hear
Trump
what
in
I'm
a
saying.
202 FBI interview. So please, 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 please,
I
please,
want
please,
you-
show me
I
evidence
want you to
that
listen
was
to what
not
I'm
the
saying.
same woman.
He
I want you to show me the evidence.
I want you to
No,
understand what I'm saying. There
Sure,
was
you
two
can show me your
women
evidence.
represented. I got money from Epstein. The other one, her in North Carolina. She is now changing her story
Listen,
from California.
Can you just prove
from
that these were two
California.
different women, please?
It's two different women.
Oh, give me the
It's
evidence.
two different women.
Just saying it
No,
doesn't
bro.
prove it.
I'm on my cell phone. Okay. Oh, look, I'm on my cell phone. If you don't,
Okay,
if you
so
don't
is this
believe
just
it,
another way
let
to
me
say
just
that you
read.
don't have
then fine.
evidence?
There's other
Stalemate.
ways you can get it.
Fine.
I don't
Agree to disagree. No one's going to jail for Epstein. Epstein fabricated
my
evidence.
God.
Some of the women fabricated evidence. It's a done. It's
Okay,
Russiagate
so
2.0.
no evidence.
You're not getting
Perfect.
anything out of this.
So
No matter
no
who's in the White House, nothing's going to happen to anybody from the Epstein file.
Well,
Epstein fabricated evidence against the people he knew.
Can you show me that, please? Could you show me evidence for that?
I'd have to take you to the report where they said that the email that Epstein said that Bill Gates was looking for STD medication from him. That was Epstein compositing the email, and he sent it to himself.
Yeah, could you show me?
Everybody's lying about this.
I'm really curious. I
No,
want to
you
see the
don't-
evidence for it.
Like, I can't show you.
Half of the
To you. I'm on my cell phone and I'm
Oh
outside.
my God.
half of the stuff has been redacted. That doesn't prove shit to me, my guy, because half of this shit has been redacted already. All the names and all the faces, and that's only what 1% of 1% of the files that's been promoted by what's her name, Pam Bundy. That's only 1%. That doesn't prove anything. And you were what about the one? What happened to the limo driver? What happened to the limo driver? He had his head cut off. Why did the limo driver that drove Epstein around or drove Trump around? What happened to that? What happened to the limo driver? When he or she was listening to their conversation, whatever conversation that they had, look, there is no more limo driver. What about the child? What about the 13-year-old child? Well, she's what, in her 30s now. What about the child that supposedly, allegedly, Donald Trump punched in the face because he was getting attention. I'm just gonna put it in those terms. He was getting special attention from a 13-year-old. And she allegedly bit him in his person. And he ended up smacking her or punching her in the face.
Goodness gracious.
It's the nature of the beast. It's TikTok. This is TikTok. This is not a debate
You
platform.
have another. You have a phone. You could quickly go on pause. You could go to Google, and then you could find your sources on Google. It's really
and then
not that
drop. But like that's the
It
thing.
won't
That's
kick you out of the live.
You're trying
That's
to,
not true.
You're trying to push. What is the God of the gaps argument? No matter if I show you the Snopes article, you're going to be like, well, I want to know what's the name of the girl.
I'd love to see it.
I could look for the video. I could look for the video where the same woman.
Can you show me the Snopes article? What's the title of the Snopes article? I'll allow you to, yeah.
If you're going to be, well,
this is the delusional. These Trump supporters are always making excuses. Always making excuses. Nothing. They ain't showing no proof with facts over feelings. Fuck your feelings, bro. Fuck your feelings, bro. Fuck your feelings. Now I feel bad. Now I feel bad for these people who are survivors of Epstein. I feel so sorry for these people. I am black first. But for these younger white girls who were taken and tortured and beaten and impregnated And after they had the baby, impregnated in them again and using them for particular sources that I dare not mention on this live. You can go to the DA or the secure Department of Defense. I guess it's Department of Defense. You can look this stuff up yourself, but most of that shit is adapted. We do not want to hold the right accountable for anything. And it's very, very sick.
Look, I could show you the video. I could show you the I could show you the video of the young woman who said that, the same one that said that 13 that she filleted Donald Trump. She changed her story and said that I was in the middle of a hanky panky party, and then Donald Trump called me over, and then I gave him a gloved HJ. Like, she's changing her story. Her representative was some guy from the Jerry Springer show. No one, and I mean no one, was going to jail for Epstein. It is a fake story that y'all held on to for dear life, despite 3 million emails proving that Donald Trump cut off ties with Epstein after Eugene Guthrie was essayed.
Y'all sick.
Okay, so for the first 50% of all that, it's just yap. And the only thing from the files talking about him cutting off ties with Epstein would actually be files to indicate that Trump lied when he said he cut off ties with Epstein and kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago. And Donald Trump has publicly stated the reason why Donald Trump has publicly stated the reason why he kicked him out is because he poached one of his masseuses from him. But I mean, even we don't believe that, because there's no reason whatsoever. There's no evidence whatsoever to suggest that claim's even true, and the evidence that we do have from the files indicates that it's likely false. All right, but now that let me speak. But now that we've gotten past all of like your baseless rambling, okay? Because I tried to ask you for the claims that you made. I tried to ask you for the evidence.
I'm on my cell phone.
Okay? You couldn't give the evidence.
Convenient. I'm on my cell phone.
Check this out. Why is Trump a good president?
Trump is a good president because he is not going the California, Minnesota route of trying to throw money at NGOs. Yeah. He is a pro-business, safe streets, classic Republican that I vote for all the time. That's pretty much it.
That's fine. So what's one macroeconomic indicator that's doing better today than it was a year and a half ago under Biden?
Inflation is way down compared to when it was at Biden's.
No, actually, inflation is higher today than it was at the end of Biden's term. Last month, we saw the sharpest increase. We saw the sharpest increase in one moment.
Non-NGOs, so that would be non-government organizations and independent nonprofits. So the nonprofit, the nonprofit from, I forgot what, God dang it, I forgot what city and state. I think it was Minnesota. The one from Minnesota, where they were doing the daycare thing, and some random dude showed up and said, this is a non-profit organ. This is taking some stupid shit. That's what I can say. It's just stupid shit.
We saw the sharpest increase in the price of groceries in 4 years last month. And annualized inflation is up to 3.8%, up from 3. So that's not an answer to the question in 2024.
Macro. I don't know, because like here's the problem. Here's the situation that I'm under.
Please.
The Republican Party is on a platform of reducing government spending, which means cutting government jobs. So there's going to be the whole, like, the difference between weather and climate.
Yeah, where's all that money going? Follow the money, right? Where's all the money going? Can anybody answer that question? Where's the money going? Since you're so smart, tell me where that money's going. Since you're cutting all these small profits, not these non-profit, these organizations, healthcare. Where's all this money going? Where's the money going? You forget he sued himself to basically settle with himself. 1.8 billion. Where's that money going? It ain't going, it ain't coming to us. That's reparations right there. That's part of your reparations right there. So where's it going? And you ain't paying us no. Donald Trump is not paying black folks reparations. I wish FBAs would get this through their thick skulls if they're still around. It's been quiet as of late. I haven't been hearing FBAs as of late. Whole bunch of FBA babble. Where's that money going?
Right? The Republican climate is to cut government spending and rely more on the private sector, and the Democrats want to print money for the public sector. That's why the answer.
They want to print money, but the right wants to spend money. That makes no sense.
Anti-fraud is so important because it's going to offer us our highest savings by just making sure politicians in California and Minnesota don't try to buy votes through NGOs. We're going to spend less money under Donald Trump, so the GDP is going to go up. And then there's this war.
My goodness.
And then there's this war.
How about we stop it there? How about I respond to everything that you've said so far about the whole
Sure.
Republican?
Wait. I just want to. I'm gonna restate it once more time.
Don't worry. I listen to every word. You don't need to repeat it, my friend.
I want you to refer to anti-fraud.
You don't need to repeat it. Okay. So the first thing that you said was, well, the GOP is the party of anti-spending, and, well, Donald Trump is focusing on spending less. And in fact, Donald Trump does spend less. So how much new debt did Donald Trump sign into law in his first term?
I'm not too sure. I think he has to get everything he needs through closure, and he can't give up a clean budget like he'd like to. He has to work with the Democrats.
All right. The answer is you don't know. That's fine. The answer is you don't know. That's fine. The answer is $8.6 trillion. How much money did the Biden-Harris administration sign into law? How much debt did they sign into law?
Over the entirety of their of the presidency? I have no idea, because you have to add the CHIPS Act with it, the COVID Act with it.
That's fine. The answer,
I have no idea.
The answer is $4.6 trillion. The Biden-Harris administration spent half as much as the Trump administration. And if we want to account for the respective COVID expenditure under each admin, Donald Trump spent 4.8 trill. They spent 2.2 trill. So he spent significantly more. So your claim, okay, that Trump spends less is false.
What about the CHIP Acts?
Yeah, that's a consideration in their $4.6 trillion expenditure. That was $220 billion over 10 years, according to the Treasury. Now, how much has Donald Trump spent so far in his second term?
I don't know. Your guess would be good.
$5 trillion. Donald Trump has already spent more.
I was on it. So I was right. $5 trillion, and most of that shit is spent on the war in Iran right now. I was freaking right.
In a year and a half, and the Biden-Harris admin did in 4. So your claim here that Trump spends less is completely made up. The last piece of evidence I'll give to refute you is Donald Trump personally accounts for 27.7% of all our nation's debt. That big $40 trillion figure. In fact, he's personally added to our second. So he spent significantly more than the Dems, accounting for COVID or not accounting for COVID, and he spent more than any other president in this country's history.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but Donald Trump came in on a platform of he's going to cut $2 trillion off of national spending. He hired
it's all bullshit. He lied to you.
Hold it. Wait.
He lied to you.
Wait. Let me make the argument that he didn't lie.
Oh my God.
Look, it's very simple. He hired the most cutters of expenditures known to man, and the Democrats fought him the whole way through. Right now, Donald Trump cannot get a bill passed unless he takes the bills that were already passed and gets them through closure. And even then, he needs 5 Democrats to come across the aisle and help him. And the Democrats, being as militant as they are, have never allied without
this is not a good point
without
for
what could get passed is previous Biden bills. That's the
you
problem.
think that the big
Like, if
beautiful
Donald
bill
Trump-
was a Biden bill?
It was something that was won through it was something that was run through basically twisting the
So can you
Democrats'
just
arm.
I just want a yes or no.
Wait, hold it,
was the big beautiful bill a Biden bill?
Yes. And Donald Trump had
This
to
what?
Donald Trump had to deal with No,
I'm sorry. I have to cut you off there. You're just completely incorrect.
You're cutting me off because
I'm cutting you off because you're no longer basing your claims in reality. You said that the big beautiful bill was a Democratic Biden bill. I'm sorry. That's just like the most moronic bullshit.
I would have let you go after that. But given the circumstances, Dean is more forgivable than I am. I'm not. I'd have gave you the middle finger and told you to go play with yourself. Because with that statement you just made was that was Biden's beautiful bill. I mean, Biden is prejudiced. I'm never going to deny that. Biden is prejudiced. He is racist. But I don't think his signature is on that bill. That don't even make no sense.
I've heard of my life.
Wait. What I'm saying,
the big beautiful bill got no dim votes.
Dude, you have control over the microphone. Chill. I was saying yes, no. You heard the wrong yes. I'm saying that Donald Trump has to do whatever it takes to get Democrat participation. And even after the big, beautiful bill was passed, y'all shut the government down because y'all wanted an extra $1 trillion.
We'll talk about the government shutdown once we're just done pointing out the fact, like, can we agree that it's true that Donald Trump spent significantly more in his first and second term than what Biden and Harris spent?
No, I'm not too sure of that.
Okay, the source would be the Committee on a Responsible Federal Budget and the Congressional Budget Office. What are your sources to indicate otherwise?
What about immigration? What about immigration? What about the
CHIPS
Act? What about all the initiatives? The Green Deal, the Green New Deal.
So you're talking about the CHIPS Act. So that was $220 billion that the Biden-Harris administration spent. I never claimed that the Trump administration spent a bunch of money and the Biden-Harris administration spent nothing. No, I'm asking you who spent more. And I gave you the specific in Trump's first term, $4.6 trillion under Biden and Harris, $5 trillion a year and a half of responsible federal budget, and the Congress.
I just wanted to prove, and sorry for the long-winded video, but I just wanted to prove to you how delusional and how misinformed this dude really is. Because if he wasn't misinformed, he would have came out with his sources by now. It's not that hard to pause what he's doing, go to Google, and look for his source. He did not come out with one fucking source. I read you a whole bunch of sources from what Donald Trump is. As a matter of fact, I'll go to what egregious thing, and it's right here, right in front of my face. Ending what one of his egregious things that Donald Trump has done, ending case review process for long-term detention. No, I don't want to read. Wait, let me see. Okay, approve expansion of for profit immigration detention, reducing standard for food and sanitation in detention centers. I'm continuously reading sources to you of how, let me see, let me go down. This is just basically 300 of the most egregious acts in Trump's second term. And I just read 120. I'm at 120. I haven't even gone to 300 yet. I'm reading you a source. This guy hasn't even came up with a source yet. You know, I'm learning as I go along. I'm learning to just be calm. But these things, you literally just want to punch a guy. But you can't do that in a soft world like this. Everything's all political. Everything's all logical now. It's disgusting, but this is what you got to live with.
Congressional Budget Office, and you're saying that you doubt all this because, well, what about items X, Y, and Z that Biden and Harris spent money on? Nobody's saying that the Biden-Harris administration didn't spend money.
Yeah.
In fact, spending money is not always a bad thing. The investment into chips and science was
I
great.
get it.
But what we are saying here is that Trump spent significantly more. So when you say that the Republican agenda is to focus on reducing our expenditure, reducing our deficit, reducing our debt, and that government spends less.
He's not listening.
Pure question to fact check. Because if you're right, if Trump spends less, then Biden would have spent more, because that's where you're getting the word less than. He spent less than the Democratic administration.
The bills that Donald Trump gets passed are a continuation of the Biden plan. He could only finagle them. No, the bills that he's trying to get through has to be finagled through closer. The Democrats are not going to.
What bills did he get passed that are a continuation of Biden's policy?
Oh, Jesus Christ. I'll have to come back with you. This is going to take a correspondence.
Oh my God. It's because that's a bullshit claim that you know is false. Don't do that. Dude, he'll never work off of their accomplishments. He tore up the JCPOA just because it had Obama's name on it. You're fucking lying. You were telling such a lie. And now you're deflecting from your lie with another lie. No, concede your claim that all of Trump's policy is just working off of what the Dems did, or I'm going to write you off as a fucking lunatic who shouldn't have a mic and a platform. Listen to yourself. What policy? Name it. Name the Trump policy.
We-On-Loc
It was just a continuation of the Biden.
You're repeating yourself. I tell you what. If I ever get the chance to speak to you again, I'm going to give you a breakdown of all the bills that the Democratic policy, it required 5 Democrats.
No, you won't. Because you just disqualified yourself. Go ahead.
Let's see.
Go.
Lord, please, Lord, you can't help it. You gotta, Lord, I pray to you, Lord, for these so-called conservatives are still so-called his nuts, Lord. Lord, please give them the strength to get away from his nuts, Lord. I don't know what to tell you, Lord. They don't know what they're doing, Lord. I'm just tired of these so-called conservatives. Just beg, please, Lord, get them away from their nuts, Lord. Give them the energy, the strength, and the passion, and everything that you got, Lord, to get them away from their nuts, Lord. Lord, please, God, please, Lord, get them away from the nuts, Lord. I don't know what to tell you, Lord. They don't know what they're doing, Lord. I don't know what to tell you, Lord. Please, give them the power, the strength, the energy, just to get away from his nuts, Lord. Please, Lord. Lord, please get away from these people's nuts. Please, Lord, get away from their nuts. Please, Lord, get away from their nuts. Please, Lord, get them away from their nuts.
Tanya, why do you think that? Why is Donald Trump's nuts so glazeful to these people? Why?
Listen, they will be holding to their master's nuts for as long as until he's dead. But they will not. Let me get on to my sermon, please, Lord. Let me get on to my sermon, Lord. Please let them get away. Help them, beg them, put their hand on their head, Lord. Please, Lord, do what you got to do for them to get away from his nuts, Lord. I got to tell you, Lord, Lord, give them the energy, the passion, Lord. Please. They don't know what they're doing, Lord. I don't know what to tell you, Lord. Please, you got the power, you got the energy, you got the muster to get these people away from his nuts.
That's all.
And I gotta say to the black conservatives, you love your master so much. You love your master so much, you do what you tell them to do. Oh, Lord, please get away from their nuts.
Wait, Tiny. Guess what? Wesley Hunt gave an announcement. It said that Jim Crow is dead. Jim Crow does not exist anymore. And Wesley Hunt is a Republican. What do you say to that?
He's still holding on to his master's nuts too.
What's up with your nuts? But that's what he particularly said. He said, well, what's happening now is not Jim Crowism. It's not Dred Scott. It's none of these things. We are American, and we are American people. If you're a Muslim, be a Muslim American. If you're a Japanese, be a Japanese American. But it's all about America. There is no racism. There is no racism in the United States of America anymore.
That's news to me.
We suffered that through the 40s, 50s, and 60s. Blah 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 blah. I'm like, nigga, is you crazy? They're about to take
listen, Lord. Away. They don't know what they're doing, Lord, because they are still beholden to him till the end of time, Lord. Lord, please give them the strength to get away from their nuts. I don't know what to tell you, Lord. Please get away from his nuts. And I gotta go, We-On-Loc Nation. And before I go, in the famous words of Captain Murtaugh, I'm getting too old for this shit. Bye.
Oh, that's a breath of fresh air. Oh, that was the greatest sermon. That was the greatest sermon. Oh man. Shout out to Hammer Nation. That's a brilliant sermon. Burn. That was a brilliant. So with that being said, I would like I'm gonna pass the collection plate. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and hit that super chat. Go ahead and hit the super chat with $1, $2, whatever you can give to the church of We-On-Loc. That was a brilliant sermon we got from dear Tom. You're from Hammer Nation. Go on and go. Nation. Go represent. Go hit that subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button. Become a member of the We-On-Loc Nation channel. All right, let's continue this lovely, non-debatable. This is ain't not a debate because he ain't come up with no evidence
to come across the aisle, and none of that came easily. Shut down the government twice because you don't want to cooperate with President Trump. That's what we're working with.
No.
Donald Trump had his way. If he had a 65-seat majority, we would see government cuts unlike you would never believe, but he has to work with the Democrats. That is my point. He has to make these bills a continuous of the Democratic plan, or it's going to be filibustered.
Okay, so you're wrong. You couldn't. Trump has passed. It was a continuation of the Biden-Harris administration, and you're saying that the reason why he has to do this is to work with the Dems to get their votes. That's also not true. Okay. For instance, the big beautiful Trump pass got 0 votes from any Democrats. They were able to get it passed through an appropriations committee. Now, Parker, I appreciate you for coming in, giving it a wild point. I'm gonna go take a pee, guys. Parker's gonna cover me here for a moment. Just right-wing woke. Just calm down, so I can inform. Just hey, just stop, just for a second. Miss Big, are you MAGA? She was chirping me in the comment section, telling me I couldn't form a good argument. We might work with 2 people. I go pee. Miss Big, hello.
Oh, geez.
Miss Big, you're unmuted. Do you support Trump? We could hear you.
So why do you support
Another one.
why do you
Another
support babies
one.
being killed?
How old are you?
53.
Okay. I'm going to leave you with a right-wing woke. I go P. Parker. I appreciate you for being able to cover me. Good luck. Just so you know the topic of discourse, he made the claim that it's the Republican agenda to reduce the debt, to reduce the deficit, and Donald Trump is spending less. And then I brought up the fact that he accounts for 27.7% of all most that any president in history has.
I just don't know. I don't know how. I don't know how anybody does this shit. I couldn't even do this on TikTok because number one, TikTok is too damn sensitive. You say one thing wrong and it might restrict you from TikTok this is stupid. Or if you mention J6, they're gonna restrict you. I don't think I would be able to go on TikTok. Possibly do some gaming online shit, but this is it. This is it. I don't know how these people do it. I don't know how these people do it every day. I really don't. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Now, I guess it's Parker's turn, I guess. So let's see what goes on here.
I brought up the fact that according to the RBF, Trump spent 8.6 trillion in his first term. Biden spent 4.
By the way, the purpose of this particular video is Trump Apologist. Just Trump say this, Trump Apologist. I don't know what it is about Trump. I wouldn't say anything if it was George Bush. I wouldn't say anything if it was, I don't know, anybody from that particular side. I wouldn't say anything. Nothing at all. Because even George Bush wouldn't pull this shit. He just wouldn't. Nothing of this caliber, nothing of this measure, nothing. And even though he's not a squeaky clean person, and I'm not taking up for anybody from the right, but I have never heard of George Bush Jr. or Sr. graping anybody. Maybe they have, we haven't heard it, but we all know Donald Trump to be that guy. Let's hear what Parker did.
6, and that he's been around 5 trillion so far in a second. His response is that, well, the reason why Donald Trump is spending so much, even though he's focusing on spending less, is because he has to pass Biden's policy, which is the craziest thing I've ever heard. And I'm going to leave you with that. Right wing. We're talking to Parker. I'm going to go pee. I'm going to go pee, everyone. I'll be back.
Parker,
What
Parker, what's up?
bipartisan?
How you doing?
Wait, pause. What
How you
bipartisan legislation passed?
People guys have held a line was Trump's policy, and it didn't require Democrats vote because he used a procedure to do it. And I'm like, wasn't that procedure closer? It brings me back to my first point. Everything Donald Trump has to do, it has to be at least profitable enough. Closer and other question. Like, you're not cooperating with Trump. There's no need to pretend like you are.
If
Why
they
would
passed
we?
it without the Democrats cooperating, how could the Democrats have watered down the bill then?
Because it's the only way not to get it filibustered. The fact is that the Democrats need some provisions to remain.
You just said that,
They
you
need.
just said
Wait.
that Democrats didn't vote for it.
They didn't, but
Okay, so then how could they have watered down the bill if they didn't even vote for it?
Because it was a bill. Because it was a bill from the Biden administration that is going through closure or procedures
Biden
to keep
signed
it
into
alive.
law. So the Committee for Responsible Federal Budget is comparing what Biden signed into law to what Trump signed into law. So that was already considered to be a Biden spending within the Biden's bill. We're not just talking about deficits. We're not just talking about deficits incurred under Trump. We're talking about things he signed into law. He signed in over $4 trillion of more debt-related spending comparative to the Biden administration. Not even considering the big beautiful bill adding $3.4 trillion to the debt in this administration.
You say it adds $3.4 trillion to the debt because Democrats consider tax relief to be some kind of sin, but it's not always
Democrats
like that.
Didn't vote for that.
Wait. Allow me to make
that.
Allow me to make the argument. Allow me to make the that we keep making y'all just nonsense. Like people have more money flowing in the. You've been following to say that automatically that the money that goes into debt relief or tax relief isn't going to go back into the economy. I don't know if anybody can make that with a serious assertion of that. More money in people's pockets equals more money in the economy. That's our belief. We're just going to have to let the economy decide.
He just rewarded himself with 1.8 billion. Kids asleep. He just rewarded himself with $1.8 billion. Technically 1.776, as in 1776, your independence. I ain't celebrating that shit. 4th of July. I'm not celebrating that shit. Neither should you. He just rewarded himself after suing the government as a citizen because someone was fucking with his taxes. But then he becomes president, unsues himself to reward himself, not to get the chunk of money, but to give it to the people who were messed with unfairly by Biden. Biden didn't run until what? Well, it was 2021 or 2022, something like that. He wasn't even in office until, what was it, 2020, 2021? And this happened in 2020.
Okay, so the Taxes and Jobs Act definitely does not bring about more revenue than it does in terms of costs. Like, your argument is that the Congressional Budget Office is wrong in their analysis that the Congressional bill adds trillions of dollars to the debt.
The Congressional Budget Office said that Obamacare would come in under budget, so don't even bother bringing them up. They're just
so you don't accept the Congressional Budget Office as a bipartisan?
They were wrong about Obamacare. They were wrong about Obamacare.
Well, I'd like to know what specific claim they were wrong about in terms of Obamacare.
They said that Obamacare would pay for itself, that people would not be on the that people from would not be abusing the emergency room. Ultimately, what ended up happening, Obamacare didn't even have.
So, January 6th Capitol attacks. Let me see. January 6th started, and the Capitol attacks started in January 2021 by supporting, let's see, the following protocol started with January attacks on the United States Capitol on January 6, 2021, supported by the United States Donald Trump's attempts to overturn to defeat in the 2020 presidency. So it started in 2021. So when did Biden's term? So Biden's term didn't begin until January 20th, 2021. Wait a second. So he's blaming Biden for what happened, what transpired, what's going on in the country. You're blaming Biden for that. And he didn't, his presidential term didn't start until January 20th of 2021. The delusion. I just gave you facts on how these people, these Trump apologists, are very, very, I don't even want to use her language. I don't even want to use my homegirl's language. I don't want to do it. I don't. I'm gonna just call them apologists for right now. She's all in the. She just loves throwing the nut. I'll leave her be. Shouts out to Tanya, man. The Hammer Nation in the building.
Have the courage to find the people that they said they were going to find. So they just removed.
The analysis that indicated they said that
You're totally misrepresenting. You're totally misrepresenting what the CBO said.
So I can misrepresent it.
You already did. So what you're misrepresenting here was what the CBO said about Obamacare. So they said
I already did.
that Obamacare could pay for itself if there's the introduction of some new taxes on high-income earners like insurance plans, alongside with some other new fees and penalties and new reforms inside of Medicare, that Obamacare could pay for itself. I'm going to mute you because you're annoying. So I just want to clarify that you're completely wrong.
Fuck up.
So true. You're completely wrong by arguing that the CBO ever said that as is the Obamacare for itself. No, they said, well, the government could do these other things on top of Obamacare, then it pay for itself. So you're incorrect to say that the CBO was wrong about a thing.
Can I respond without you going on a diatribe?
That wasn't a diatribe. That was an explanation of why you're wrong in accordance with what the CBO said. Like the moment that you started saying, "Oh, the CBO was super wrong about Obamacare," well, I said to myself, the CBO is like usually
listening to you. These racists don't listen to you. These racists don't. And I'm looking at a white boy on screen cook you several times over. I mean, you're cooked, finito, done. You didn't come with no facts. You didn't even come with even a description. Well, you came with description, but there's this little thing called evidence, which you didn't even present. So I wouldn't even waste my time with you.
Right. How could they be so off target with this? So then I looked it up and I actually read their research. And the research, it doesn't say that Obamacare will pay for itself. It says Obamacare could pay for itself. The government also all these things. And then he responds to that, dude, you're personally attacked.
Just let me.
He's just muting you for the love of the game.
Be brave.
I'm just doing it for the love of the game at this point.
No, look. I was about to say that the
last time.
They're having fun with you now.
Oh, y'all just gonna be all right, cool. Look, I was about to say the congressional.
Yeah.
Okay, I had to do it one more time. I'm sorry.
You're a coward.
Hey, Dean, I'll be gone here. I think Faction Correct did not need cloture because they were able to bypass the actual filibuster. You only invoke cloture when you need to bypass the filibuster. They didn't need to bypass the filibuster. And when they go through the Byrd rule, then everything is fine. That's why they didn't need any votes in the Senate from the Dems. So
they use maneuvering to get it past the Democrat
They use the
filibuster.
Byrd rule, which is entirely legal. It's been used by both Dems and Republicans, and it's used to bypass the filibuster, which is why they used it.
That's the whole point. That's my whole point.
Because you said closure.
Of a bill, right?
No, using closure is to bring about the end of a filibuster. There was no filibuster because they used the Byrd rule.
The Republicans are trying to avoid the Democrat filibuster because they have no intentions of cooperating with this president. On top of that, the Republicans have to make wait. Come on, I could do 3-on-1, but 3,000 minutes to 1 second of speaking is really not fair to anyone. All right.
The Byrd rule. Byrd rule is a Senate the Byrd rules is a Senate procedure that prevents non-budgetary provisions from being included in the budget recorrelation bills, ensuring legislation stays focused on facet matters. Whatever. I gotta read it more than that. Politics was not my thing. I don't blame Lisa for this. The Byrd rule applies exclusively to the U.S. Senate and governed budget reconciliation bills, which are designed to align federal spending, taxes, and debt limit with the budget resolution, and I don't know what the quotation marks is, named after Senator Robert Byrd, Democrat. I guess he's a Democrat. The rule was the first adapted in 1985 and clarified in 1990 as Section 303 of the Congressional Budget Act. Its main purpose is to prevent any inclusion of expansionist or tangible provisions that do not directly affect the federal budget. How does it work? Point 1. Any Senate can raise points of order against the provision deemed expansionist. I gotta do not expansionist, whatever. Often called a Byrd bath. Point B. If the point of order is sustained, the provision is strifen by the bill unless 60 senators voted to waive the rule. Extraneous provisions include items unrelated to budget goals, such as changes to Social Security and other non-factual policies. Point number 4, the rule applies to the full text of the correlation bills, including amendments and conference reports. This is very, very interesting to read. Now let's see what these fools are arguing. How this whole thing correlates. What I just read, I don't know shit about. Maybe they can clear it up.
It has a lot of energy. How old are you? How old is this guy? Because he sounds like 40. I hope I have as much energy as you do when I'm 40. Because you are like really young, dude.
This is what's called a diatribe. Look, there's so many things that's not being said within this whole discussion. And like, I think you guys are hiding behind the mute button, because it's like, you have to admit that the Democrats will not cooperate with the Trump administration. At the same time, President Trump has to make sure that the deals that they do get passed doesn't.
Shut the fuck up. But anyway, I'm gonna have to read more into the bird rule. Y'all got me reading, especially this book. You got me up at 2:12 in the morning reading about the bird rule and looking up Biden laws. Whatever. Why don't we get to the meat and potatoes? What are you going to do about the gas prices? What are we going to do about that? What are we going to do about the grocery stores? Why don't we just lower the prices of the tariffs? Why don't we ever talk about that? That's the most important thing. You just waived all that shit to talk about something that mainly we have no argument about. We don't even know anything about this stuff. But I'll gladly read into it. Let's continue.
A filibuster, and it's at least remotely enticing to 5 Democrats to pass the bill. We haven't got that point yet, because you time the whole Obamacare thing that you don't listen to. Got the
Another thing.
The returns for when they do not buy into the program. They didn't have the balls to pull the trigger on that, so Obamacare was dead and gone since day one.
I don't listen.
Wait,
I don't even.
false.
Go ahead,
That's
Matt.
false. They had a tax provision in the bill. It was ruled constitutional.
I'm just gonna say this: if Obamacare is dead and gone, why is Trump still bitching about it? Why is Trump bitching about Obama? Period. I mean, I definitely got issues with Obama, but hot damn.
By the Supreme Court, and then the Republicans got rid of it. Like, it wasn't Dems that got rid of it.
They pushed it back.
Yes, because
they pushed it back. The penalties.
Yes, because the Republicans hated the fact that they were to the court,
penalties.
And the court said what? It's legal because it falls under Congress's tax powers. And then the Republicans, when they got back in Congress, then they got rid of it. So that's why
there's another thing.
We're not able to pay for it.
Yeah, you're right. But there's also another thing about it, was that men, especially young men who don't rely on medication that much, did not participate in the program, so there was completely under budget. The quote unquote young,
which is what the tax. Wait.
Let me just finish. The young invincibles did not participate.
Yes. Thank you. Yes. And you know what? The tax was meant to get them into the pool. This is actually a very conservative idea. The idea is to make those who will not get health insurance to actually get health insurance in order to lower the cost. That's a very conservative idea.
Also, I just want it to be known that the debate topic is supposed to be, is Trump good for spending? I just want to clarify that, guys. The first claim that all of this conversation is consequential of was his claim that Donald Trump is reducing expenditure. And then I responded to that by saying, no, he's not. Spent
Yes.
$8.6 trillion in his first term.
Yes. What about
Spent
fraud?
$5 trillion so far in his second. Meanwhile,
What
Biden-Harris spent $4.6 trillion in 4 years.
What about,
Not to mention he's personally responsible.
what about
Oh my God.
Dude,
Dude.
I at this point, like today, I think my brain is just mush because
You know what?
like I've just had so many insufferable debates all day
I'm gonna-
that my brain is not even functioning.
I'm going to do something that Santana does. I've never done this before. I've never done this before. This is in the
Oh, bro.
history of my channel. I've never done this before, but I'm going to
You're
do
gonna-
it first time for you. Santana does this. Maybe some of the Santana viewers know what I'm talking
Look,
about.
what about
Is it-
fraud?
I know
Fraud
exactly
needs
what
to
it
be
is.
addressed.
I'm
What about
I'm
fraud?
placing a bounty on this guy's head. All right? I think that's what Santana says. I'm placing a bounty on your head. All right?
That's
How
Machiavelli.
much? What's
Ladies
fair? What's fair for a kick
Look.
fund?
Look,
250.
Look,
$250.
yeah.
I'm placing a $250
Is this what
bounty
we're doing
on this dude's
for my
head.
life?
If y'all want
My
him
life.
gone,
You're-
all
you're-
right. We have
Oh,
a
okay.
$250 kick fund to get this
Hey, what about
motherfucker.
fraud? Can we talk
out.
about fraud?
Got
Trump
the
is
Venmo and the
fighting fraud.
PayPal
Why don't you
and the
wanna
link
talk
tree in
about
the bio
fraud?
on TikTok.
You
Pin
ramble
message
incoherently
on that other
about this
place.
nonsense.
And
You're
yeah,
just
it's right there. Dean
Look,
Withers
we need to have
without
this
Dean
conversation.
Withers. Now
What
let me
about
describe
fraud?
to you why,
What
for the
about-
first time ever, I'm doing a kick fund. Let me tell you why I'm doing a kick fund.
Why
It's
is
because
Minnesota and
this
California fraud?
motherfucker is insufferable.
He's talking about
You're gonna
fraud.
get that immediately, dude. It's gonna
Can I-
be.
can I talk
He's
about-
already. You should might as well just kick him already.
You might as well, because like you don't want to talk about fraud. You want to talk about
Yeah. Do you want to talk about how Donald Trump has pardoned fraudsters? You want to talk
I'd
about
like
that?
to I'd like to talk about what you
Let's
have
talk
on your
about how
life.
Donald Trump
Donald
has pardoned fraudsters.
Look. Bro, look. The thing is, the social safety net is important, and Donald Trump is
Let's
trying to
talk
rescue it
about
through
how
fraud
Donald Trump has
prevention.
pardoned
Talk.
fraudsters.
That's
Hello.
all he's doing.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, though.
He's just
Look, that was in Florida, right? Dude, a billionaire in Florida got taken out.
Florida has higher per capita fraud
And a
comparative
billionaire-
to Minnesota and
a billionaire
California.
and a billionaire was arrested because of Medicaid fraud. Donald Trump is doing everything I wanted him to do. I wish he
Wait.
could do more, but the Democrats
Wait,
will not cooperate.
Wait, you understand that Democrats are going after fraud too? There's nothing that
No, they're
Democrats
not.
did to prevent people
Ilhan
from going
Omar is
after
going
fraud.
after fraud.
Can you stop cutting me off? There's nothing that Democrats did to
You
prevent
muted
them.
me like a bitch. Come on now.
I can keep doing that. You want the baby bottle?
But that is the best thing
You
you
want
got.
you want the baby?
That's the best
Oh my
argument.
want a
God,
baby
it
bottle?
keeps going so fast.
You want
I'm trying to update it on the
you got?
screen, but it keeps going as I'm updating it.
I should have changed the title from Trump Apologist to Trump Bitches, man. I might end up changing that title from Trump Apologist to a bunch of Trump bitches. God dang. Dude, shut the fuck up. God dang. Just get off of his, get off the nuts, nigga. Like, god damn. He even sounds like his never mind.
Okay, he wants a baby bottle. Okay,
God
you know what?
damn,
We're just gonna
shut
baby
up.
bottle you until you're gone.
Yeah, Donald Trump.
Okay, Donald Trump has literally pardoned fraudsters. He literally does not care about fraud. Florida has higher per capita levels of fraud than both Minnesota and California combined. You're just sitting here coping. You're not willing to acknowledge the fraud that exists in Republican states that exists to such a great extent. Again, Donald Trump has pardoned fraudsters. I repeat, Donald Trump has pardoned
Howard.
fraudsters. Donald Trump has pardoned fraudsters. Okay, you know it. You know it's true. You're just coping. Can I get some baby bottles in the comment section? For the guest who now just left, by the way.
I'll give him more.
No, I
I'll
kicked
give
him.
my dick
I
as
kicked
well.
him. We weren't at the kick fund quite yet, but he just got a restriction. Oh my God.
What happened?
That dude is fucking insufferable. Holy shit!
Yeah, that was rough.
Dude, that was literally me with every debate today, bro. I
Dude,
swear.
I will.
All right. Yeah, now you got the. Hopefully, you got the point. That only make no fucking sense. Hopefully, you got the point. Hold on. I gotta go back to regular size. Well, hopefully, you got the point. And these are some goddamn Trump apologists, boy. He is literally right now on True Social, on his social media page, tweeting. He does that every single day. If it's not about the war, if it's not about Obama, if it's not about old Sleepy Joe, which I could not care less about Joe, but needless to say, if it's not about his own interest, if it's not about getting rich, he could care less. He could care less about the American people. He already explained it to you, and people already confirmed what he had stated, that he could care less about the American people. He just doesn't want the people from Iran getting a nuclear weapon. That's all he's focused on. And you are literally cuffing his nuts to the, I can't believe I'm saying it. You are literally cuffing them, like holding them on to dear life. And no, I didn't vote for Biden. It's like, you must have voted for Biden. It's like, no, I didn't. I didn't vote for that motherfucker. I don't vote for bigots. I don't vote for people who don't pique my interests. I'm old enough to the point, and even my folks know, and we've gone through major disagreements and major wars upon, well, why don't you vote? People die for your right. No, people didn't die for your right to vote. People died for their right to live under a constitution that wasn't meant for you. Because if it was, you haven't 40 acres and a mule by now. But each and every time Black people have risen up, it was always something to the point where they just burned our communities down. And I don't even have to name them all. You should already know them by now. Fight for our right to live. They put us in the front line, and this joker, Wesley Hunt, that poor thing. He is so poor. So poor. He said it with his entire chest. I'm proud of not exist. I got brothers and sisters who fought in the war. Suck this white man's dick. For nine weeks of basic training and going out and suffering a war that wasn't meant for you. As soon as you came home, what about those people who come home each and every single time that they have an opportunity to, and they don't have jobs? Why don't you talk to those old war veterans that can barely stand up? They're called homeless people. What about your bleeding heart for them? What about you? I would say fuck each and every single one of you if I was right in your fucking face. I would probably spit in your face if I had the opportunity. What about how about those bleeding soldiers who fought for your war, fought for your right to live, fought for your liberty? This is all just a snatch and grab. If you're 18 years old, oh, you are fresh meat. They will sign you up in a heartbeat because they know that you're going to die for them. You are fresh meat. And most of those people don't even survive training. They don't even survive it. Within the fourth week, half of them have been wanting to quit. When they come out of basic training, they either go home or they're signed on to whatever mission they got planned. Whatever mission they need, if they need you, they own you. They own you. They own your name. They own your rights. They own your life. And no black man should be in some white man's army. Because where is your bleeding heart for these people out here who are struggling right now? Even white folks, there are more white homeless people than there are black people. Where is your fucking bleeding heart for them? Nowhere to be found. If they're found in benches, you know where they go? Straight to jail. That's 3 days in a cot, 3 meals in a cot, 3 meals in a cot. If you're caught on benches, if you're caught on sidewalks, you get to go to jail. Good America. Brilliant America. You don't care. Donald Trump does not care. He does not give a shit. He does not give a shit. What up, young? I don't need to do the military service or fall under the mental health. They don't care about none of that stuff. That's why their job is to break you down to build you back up again. That's their only job. They don't care about your feelings. They don't care about your mother. They don't care about your daddy, or they don't care about your sister, your brother, your uncle, your aunt. Who died yesterday? I was like, oh, whoop-de-doo. You're in my care now. You are in Uncle Sam's care. Your job is to defend the rich people. The rich people of America. How fun is that? I want to save that because I want to hear the rest. But I played this thing long enough. So I wonder what's in the... Hold on a second. What is in the... Wait. No, wait. Give me one. Give me one second. One second. And Trump's approval rating. Let me see. Does he talk? Yep, he does. He does. I mean, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Become a member of the We-On-Loc Nation channel.
Plus 4 points. He was above one. Again, we're looking at the inverse of that. Trump is
like we're just reviewing how the economy, well, not just the economy, because the economy is in the shitter. I had just talked to my sister today. And she said that she lives in Houston and the prices in Houston are not that bad, but it's up there in price. Like we're up there in price. It's like $5 and $5.19 for regular gas over here in Las Vegas. I am in the UK. Hey, they treating the UK wrong too. But you need to understand, young. He's going after if he has to interfere in UK business, he'll interfere in UK business. Understand? He wants Iceland. He wants Cuba, which I'm still trying to figure out why he wants Cuba. He wants Iran. He wants Canada. He wants Mexico, while destroying our allies in the process. NATO is not NATO. And if he really wanted to pull the trigger and destroy millions and millions of lives in Iran, he would have did it already. We are 80 days in. I don't know if it's 80 days. 80 days in Iran. And we are supposed to be the greatest military force of all time. Okay, cool. Let's continue here.
Is considerably less popular in Texas, which of course matches what we're seeing nationally, which is that Donald Trump is less popular now than he was at this point in term one. You put it all together. You look at the general election polls. You look at the popularity of the potential Republican candidates that'll be running for Texas Senate. You look at Donald Trump's popularity as well, and you go, okay, Texas is absolutely in play. Does that mean that Democrats will finally win their first Senate race since 1988 in Lloyd Bentsen? I'm not saying that, but it is a real possibility.
What you are saying is 2026 is different than 2018.
It is different than every campaign.
Or Senate majority. President Trump says he's backing Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton over incumbent Senator John Cornyn in the state's primary runoff, which is next week. In a post on social media, Trump boasted Paxton's loyalty and
he basically supported Paxton. Big deal.
And called out Cornyn for, quote, not being supportive of me when the times were tough. The decision is a searing blow to Cornyn, who spent over a year courting President Trump.
Oh my God. The art of the deal. Oh my God. Talk about whole nuts.
Trump derangement syndrome is real. Our president understands the art of the deal better than any modern head of state. Finally.
Oh, does he? Can you explain to me how he got his buildings bankrupted here in Las Vegas, Nevada? All 3 casinos, including the Taj Mahal. Can you tell me why he bankrupted himself 6 times? The art of the deal, the art of making deal. And by the way, he does have a bit of a bounty on his head in 3 different places, which one of them happens to be here in the state of Nevada, but let me not say that.
We have a president who's been willing to stand up to the Iranian regime. The most amazing thing about President Trump is the risks
to retire.
he's willing to take. Our president demonstrated for all to see that the ultimate way to win.
The only reason why you are still in the position that you're in is because you know Jasper Crockett would have beat the shit out of you politically.
Over a bully is not to give in, but to stand up to him. I'm proud of the fact that President Trump said this will not stand.
Cornyn responded by touting his voting record with Trump and noted that the president has consistently called him a friend.
I mean,
Paxton says,
I'm sorry, Jasper Crockett would have blew you out the water. That's why you paid up the $40 million to see that she doesn't get that Senate seat. Piece of shit.
It's just a facade.
This guy has been a friend of Donald Trump ever since I got into the race a year ago, but has not been a friend to him prior to that. And as soon as this race is over, he will not be a friend to Donald Trump. That is not his history. That is not his record. And he's been dishonest with the voters of Texas, trying to convince them that he's voted 99% with the president. What does that even mean? But we know it's not true.
What? Now, early voting is already underway in Texas. The nominee will face.
And I do feel sorry for James Tellerico. I do. I do feel sorry for James Tallarico. Good guy, but again, I didn't do all this to vote for you. I voted for Jasmine. Good luck.
Off in November against rising Democratic star State Representative James Tallarico. People were going after Tallarico about his taco order just a couple of days ago, but I want to start with you, former VA Congressman Denver. When you look at this, you know what it's like to be sort of targeted, right?
Oh, yeah.
By the president. What is it like, and what should Cornyn expect?
What now?
Yes.
Tools. Yeah,
I mean,
and I think that's where we're at. I think what can Cornyn expect? I mean, right now, when you're talking about action, I think it's probably one of the worst endorsements Trump could do. The edge of sort of criminal activities. He had to do community service to get out of a felony, right? It's everything wrong happening. I think with MAGA right now is Ken Paxton. I think he actually is sort of the linchpin to what's wrong with this. But here's the issue, right? What this does, I think if Lindsey Graham is the voice of reason in this, and that targeting happening, he's gone, right? Paxton's is going to be there. I think actually what you're looking at right now, Lindsey Graham is right. They're going to spend 3 times as much money to win this thing. I think Tallarico does have a chance to win, but I will say this because I know I'm not trying just to be adversarial or to say something where everybody agrees. I still think Paxton wins the race. I don't really, I would hope that Tallarico can win and get over. I'm going to say that right here to the entire table. I still think Paxton wins. We're still really does in a way that we can't imagine. I just
runs Texas money. These rich millionaires will do anything to stay in the same position. They will literally do anything and pay anything, pay whatever the cost. That's why it was so important for everyone who was involved to see that Jasmine get that seat. And it just wasn't enough.
I think that's the way it is.
Tara, do you think that Paxton, do you have the same thoughts, or do you think there is really a path?
Well, I think Texas has been the big white whale for Democrats for a couple of election cycles. But Tallarico, honestly, is probably their best hope in a very long time, especially now with Paxton officially being endorsed by Trump. I mean, birds of a feather. The guy was impeached by the Texas legislature. He was acquitted by the Senate. Trump was impeached. I mean, I don't know why, if people are to really think about who are they putting in office? Are they proud of these people? I mean, Ken Paxton is a despicable human being. He's dishonest. He has criminal behavior. He's his own victim. And this is, although he debased himself trying to kiss up to Donald Trump, has by all measures been a good senator of the state of Texas. And that's what he had turned to do to prove loyalty. What about where people of Texas? It's all about Donald Trump. So, I mean, I think that it's, once again, it's a character issue. And I think the people of Texas deserve better, but they're going to get the person that they choose. But it's going to be a hell of a race there in Texas and a lot of other places because the Senate is in play. And you can see the senior Republicans that know better, that understand that this is not good for the Republican Party. It's MAGA brand, and the MAGA brand is terrible when it comes down to national races and statewide races. So good luck with that in Texas.
And do you think this will backfire? That if Paxton,
I do think Democrats have a chance. But listen, I'm old enough where there were Democrats elected statewide in Texas, right? Mm-hmm. People like Ann Richards, who was the governor. And Republicans don't stand up to Trump because Trump has power and he exerts that power in the primaries. He is incredibly influential in Republican primaries. John Cornyn is conservative. John Cornyn has voted with Donald Trump 99% of the time. John Cornyn was a Republican leader. He has incredible power in the security, and I think he just lost tonight, right? He just lost tonight with this Trump endorsement. And I think Trump is Howard, as his scalp, to show. He thought, you know what? I'm gonna show you all. I'm gonna have scalp. Going to be all sorts of money spent there, which is the reason why John Thune, the majority leader of the Senate, is still supporting John Cornyn, and so are most of the senators in power today. Let it be what it is.
What's it going to look like in Congress, you think, if all of the people that Donald Trump has put up summons?
Like, share, subscribe, and subscribe. Support the channel. Thank you for staying up this late. You could have been in bed or playing PlayStation or doing whatever, but you're here with your boy, so I do appreciate it.
End up in place in Congress.
Well, look, I mean,
will they ever sort of look at Donald Trump and go, hey, you know what, we'd like to have some of our power back? Because Congress has pretty much seceded a lot of their power.
I mean, that didn't just start in 9 minutes.
No,
it's been on for a long time. I mean, my expectation is that these Republicans, if they win their races, and most of them I think will win, including Paxton, I agree with you, Denver, we're going to end up voting the Republican agenda, which is set by the White House. Who will have the majorities when we come back? You know, it's going to be a real race for the House, a real in the House. Republicans have a little advantage in the Senate, but it's going to be a real race. And every vote matters, and the president's expectation is that every Republican who goes up there, supports his agenda.
You realize that Cornyn supported that Cornyn did that was so offensive to Trump that he would go against it.
The one unacknowledged
and endorse the guy who impeached for the securities fraud, bribery, and all sorts of horrible
I will
things.
answer if you'd like.
Sure.
I think one of the unacknowledged points here is that Paxton was a little bit ahead in this race. Cornyn won in the primary by a little bit, but there was a third guy in the race, Wesley Hunt. He didn't make a lot of those votes to Paxton. Paxton was a little bit ahead in this. He might have won anyway, even without this endorsement. And so I'm not so sure Cornyn was running a very competitive race. I'm not so sure he would have been able to pull it out.
Why did Trump now all of a sudden endorse Paxton? That is a mystery. He wouldn't endorse John, but now he's endorsing Paxton. That in itself is very, very strange.
I don't disagree with the point that Texas will become a little bit more expensive in the fall here. But your question is, what's the expectation of Republicans? The voters, it's not Trump, it's Trump's voters. The reason he has power and the reason he has influence is because they like him and they like his agenda. And if their perception is that you're off that track or that you're not doing all that you can for it, they're going to go find somebody who will. Now, Trump, sort of enforces their will. It's not him singular. There's a legion, millions of people out there who are looking for Republicans who will do everything within their power to make this president successful. Kentucky 4, Texas, Alabama, Georgia, you name it, they are everywhere.
And you know why? You know why they're willing to do anything to see that the Republicans are successful? Do you know why that the people from the South, Texas, all the way up to South Carolina are redistricting maps right now, changing the map so people like me and you, I'm in the state of Nevada. I just voted. People like me and you, people of color can't vote or have to go miles and miles away just to vote and just gutting maps. And oh, by the way, I had not mentioned, abolishing the 14th Amendment allegedly. And this is all John Roberts. All John Roberts. Put it all together. Impeach John Roberts. Impeach Clarence Thomas. Impeach, impeach, impeach. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's my time. I just thought I would just be here for a couple of hours with you on this, what was Memorial Day. Hope y'all had a good morning to afternoon. And like I said, I do appreciate you being with your boy. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me, and I do appreciate it. With that being said, I'll leave you with this. Goodbye, and see you some other time.